We'll also be meeting a group of graffiti knitters, or yarn stormers as they're otherwise known, who've made it their mission to brighten up the drab streets of Great Britain with their woolly creations. Best of luck. Well, we're joined now by a clandestine group of nouveau knitters who've taken the knitting resurgence to the next level using their crocheted creations to brighten up the dull and drab streets of Great Britain with a kind of knitting graffiti.
Referred to by those in the know as yarn storming, the practice involves tagging buildings, lampposts and other objects with knitted scarves, dollies and animals.
Well, joining us now are a very tight-knit group of yarn stormers who go by the names of Deadly Knitshade, Lady Loop, Shaun of the Dead and The Fastener.
Also known as Lauren O'Farrell.
Ah, there you are, Lauren.
There she is. Perry Lewis. Amy McPherson. And Emma Toft. And they are from Knit the City. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Revealed at last.
You're not on the run by any chance, are you?
We might be.
Yeah. So explain what this is about and why you do it.
I think we do it for a few different reasons, but mostly because it's really good fun. So we knit like crazy, and then we sneak out somewhere in the city, cover something or another in knitting, and then we run off again. That's basically what we do.
So why knitting? Because knitting's one of those things that's sort of I mean, it's back in fashion now in a big way, but for a long time it was sort of seen as something your gran did that didn't really get passed down that much to us. So how come you girls picked up on it?
I think everyone's been doing it for quite a while now. I think we all started, like, well, obviously when our grandparents taught us back in the day, but when it all kicked off, like, a few years ago, you kind of start making scarves and stuff, and it's like, oh, what else can we knit? And kind of, there's only so many scarves and so many jumpers that you can knit before you think, what else can we do with knitting?
Well, it looks so difficult because you work to a pattern, I assume, or you have to have sizes and shapes and ideas. If we look at the telephone box. So there's the phone box.
I love that.
It
should all look like
that. That was a nightmare.
Is it draped on there, or have you actually? Is it fitted?
It's a cosy.
Yeah, we measured it.
So do you go out and have to measure a phone box to make sure?
You could use the phone box. You could go in and out like it was. It wasn't terribly well measured because we had to kind of readjust at the time in a panicky way. But
And a policeman stopped you on this one, didn't he?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Can I take a photo for my wife, please?
That's amazing. And you got to prove it because you said it was for a craft project, and instantly then they don't seem to mind.
It sounds quite cuddly, you know. I think an art project might sound a bit scary, but craft project, you know.
Yeah.
Well, so the name itself you've changed, haven't you? Because it was initially when it was in the States, it was yarn bombing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So why did you change it?
I just decided that yarn bombing was a little bit too kind of like close to the bone with London. Well, with everywhere really, because what we do isn't really a violent thing, so we're not really blowing anything up. And I figured yarn storming sounded a little bit more eccentric and English as well, so we went with yarn storming.
Well, let's talk about some of the things you've done. Lauren, let's start off with you because you started, well, like you said, you've been knitting for a long time, but about 5 years ago.
I started knitting 5 years ago.
Oh, so it was 5 years ago?
It was, yeah.
And you've been having cancer treatment, haven't you?
Yeah, I started knitting because I was having treatment for lymphoma, so I started like a little knitting group with 2 of my friends. And my little knitting group kind of grew and grew into like a woolly Godzilla, which is Stitch London, which is the biggest knitting group in the UK now.
And you had a genius way of celebrating when you got given the all clear finally.
Yeah, the lion scarf, which was where I think it was 150 knitters from around the world contributed to scarves that we were going to go for 1 lion, but we ended up doing all 4. 550 foot of hand-knitted scarf I think we got in the end.
It makes that lion look really cuddly and soft, doesn't it, instantly?
He did appreciate it.
What about London Bridge? Let's have a look at the London Bridge that you did. You can actually this because history is an important part of what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's only so many scarves that you can wrap around things.
Yeah.
And there are so many undiscovered parts of London that we've done some really cool little things with. Like the Oranges and Lemons project was just we didn't know the churches, we'd never been there, so we thought, well, let's go around and
And what
highlight
about
them a little bit.
what was the idea behind this one here, the London Bridge?
With the London Bridge, there's an ancient law that says that freemen of London are allowed to drive their sheep across the bridge. So
That's what you do. Just knitted ones.
in connection with Wool Week, we thought it would be quite fun to make some sheep and let them loose across the bridge.
And we are in the midst of Wool Week as we speak.
We are,
Yes,
yeah.
we are.
So what have you got planned?
We've done a little yarn storm in John Smedley's shop for them, and some of the bits are here. I'm not sure what else we've got planned really. I think
Are you not allowed to tell us?
if we told you, we'd have to kill you.
Yeah.
Well, I know
Have to
something.
knit you.
You are going to. Well, I don't know how you phrase it, but you are going into our hub to do what you do
We
best.
are, yes.
Attack it.
Bit of sneaky stitching.
Really?
Okay.
Yes, a bit of guerrilla knitting.
Amazing. Could you knit me a scarf for my throat, please, while you're here?
Do you
That
do boring stuff like that?
I don't tend to, but
There's no time.
yeah.
You've gone well
Much
beyond
time.
that sort of stuff now, haven't you? We'll have one. We've got the ballerina outside the Royal Opera House, which is in itself is also absolutely incredible.
And these are all
Little tiny
characters
bits
from
and
the
pieces.
Nutcracker, weren't
Yes,
they?
they are quite angry characters from the Nutcracker because they're all kind of like Gulliver's Travel attacking this poor ballerina.
Well, guys, thank you very much indeed. We'll see you later on when we see what you've actually
Yes.
done to the
Come and see you in
to
the
the
hub.
hub. And thank you.
Earlier on, we met Deadly Knitshade, Lady Loop, Shaun of the Dead, and the Fastener, otherwise known as Lauren, Perry, Amy, and Emma of Knit and the City. They've been busy yarn storming our hub, and how are you getting on?
I think we've done all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's
This
have a
is
little
all
look.
part of British Knit Week, which we are in the midst of at the moment.
They've
Wool
been
Week.
busy knitting new felt. There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
look,
It's
and you got the
got-
goat fan.
You've got the go for two.
look,
And then that's yours to
look,
keep.
look
Holly,
at that.
there's yours.
I like
If you want
mine.
that, you can keep it.
I really like
Gino isn't really a lot like Gino, but it's a good effort, to say the least. What do you think, Gino?
Oh, be careful with those dogs.
Hello, Holly. It's spaghetti, not spaghetti. and thanks, girls. You've made a sheep for me. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. These are lovely. Thank you very much
This.
indeed.
Like it very much, right. Here's
Knitted by, is it a charity thing? No.
Graffiti knitters.
Graffiti who?
Graffiti knitters.
Graffiti knitters. Oh yeah, so they do graffiti using knitted things. So it's a novel approach, it's different and it's not as offensive.
People in the hub. It's not you, Gino. Don't worry about it. Don't take it to heart. I've got a sheep. And look at it as well. It looks. I think it looks
Why are you
haggard.
grey?
I don't know why. Maybe it's the tan.
Grey?
Great.
You look drunk.
The guys.
Yeah, drunk.
Cheers, guys. Ta-ra. Have a nice day. It's been a great day in the hub. It's been very busy. We did have a pub hub, but they had to take it down. That's the nature of television, unfortunately. People, time runs out. We've got to move things. We've got some knitted artifacts on the wall. Keith Lemon is still with me, and I'm
I've
slowly
got to get back to the future soon.
Get back to the future. Come on, come on.
Alright, see
Come on.
ya.
See ya. See ya. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a nice afternoon and a nice evening. Bye bye.